I would just like to say that if you're feeling fuzzy, if you're feeling low, if you're feeling like you can't make it, number one, go to God. But number two, call somebody for help.
Talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody.
You're right.
And I think that, like, as the people, we are afraid to tell people how we really, truly feel. Especially, we want everybody to think we are winning. We on the up and up. We good. It's going to be great. You can say all these positive things to yourself on Instagram and social media. But the truth is, you're dying inside. And you can't get help unless you tell someone you need help.
And that's the thing. Most modern women need help, but they never get it because they're too busy trying to act like they got it all together. And that's really them competing with other women. They get in front of each other and start lying to each other and lying to themselves. And they don't just lie to women, they lie to everybody. Just like how Tamar was lying in this video right here. And I'll explain that in a minute. But first, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Click the notification bell for all updates. Won't waste any time. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what that is.
So,
what? Lord. Just say it.
I got to get into this
Yeah,
because I've been trying to figure this out now.
Okay.
You telling me about my dog story,
Yeah.
right? Now I'm sitting here looking at, the blogs, and I look up and I see these cats breaking in your car.
Ain't the devil a lie? Ain't that crazy?
But
Whoa.
But why it take them so long? How long did they have to break in your car? It sounded like they were there for a whole day.
They was there for 33 minutes. I looked at the security
I
camera.
ain't never seen nobody break in somebody's car and go through and take their time to go through the stuff like, oh yeah, this right here look expensive. I seen an orange box. Was that something from Louis or something?
Yeah.
I seen so what happened with that?
Well, I mean, the place, first of all, I bought this condo in like 2008, right? And it's like high security and like it's 24 hours, and everybody's like, why she live in an apartment?
And see, here's where Tamar started lying. She lied a few times in this interview, but her fans are so gullible, they ate it up. After she recorded this interview, but before it aired, her ex-fiance came out and said that he broke up with her, and he made sure to point out that he was not with Tamar when her car was broken into at her mama's house. She put this dramatic post up on IG. She said, I got robbed at home. I'm not safe anywhere. I don't know why I keep getting violated. I had a lot in my car because I don't live anywhere because I'm not safe anywhere or with anyone. What stood out to me right away was her saying I had a lot in my car because I don't live anywhere, but she also said that she was at home. Some of the blogs heard this and said that Tamar was homeless. And then her fiance came out and said no, he wasn't at her mama's house, which is where Tamar was when these heathens broke into her car. JR, the ex-fiance, is a lawyer with his own place, and he wanted people to know that he wasn't the one bumming out here. That, along with her post, made people believe that Tamar was, and the biggest part that stood out to me in Tamar's original statement was her saying, I don't live anywhere, I'm not safe anywhere with anyone. So I'm like, how are you not safe with anyone? And you got a whole fiance. That on top of her removing all of his pictures from social media before he even came out and confirmed that he dumped her. I knew it was over and I knew it was Tamar. Why? Because Tamar can't get along with anybody, especially straight men. She had an American man, a black man, Vince. She annoyed him. That marriage was a failure. She made her fans believe that she was upgrading by getting with the African man, David Adefeso, which was totally disrespectful to Vince, by the way. There is absolutely no man that she's been with since Vince that did for her what Vince did for her. Tamar wouldn't be where she is without Vince and his connections. It was his status and his work that got her where she is. But yeah, she moved on to David Adefeso, and we see how that ended. That engagement never went through. It was a failure, and that's Tamar's fault too. She was disrespectful to David and his mother. Then she thought that she was upgrading from David, this time to a white man. A lot of black women with these insecurity issues, they love this because deep down in their insecure minds, they want to be loved and accepted by white men. The problem is white men are generally not attracted to black women for various reasons. But a lot of these black women, they dream about having white men, mostly to try to circumvent black men's demands, until they realize that all men, for the most part, every race, every country, they want the same thing. A decent woman, a modest woman, a submissive, cooperative woman, not all that neck rolling and talking crazy like what Tamar and women like her are known for.
Whatever. No, it wasn't. But I had parked in the guest parking because sometimes I do it. Well, we're secured, right?
Right.
24 hours. Somebody's at the desk. You can't go upstairs. You can't go on nobody's floor.
You felt
None
safe.
of that, right?
You
It was safe. And so I don't know. I came downstairs to take my son to school, and I saw my hair clip on the ground. And I'm like, why is my hair clip on the ground? So I picked up the hair clip and I opened the door. We running late. And my son is getting in. I'm like, ho. The car was completely trashed.
You knew.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went to the security desk and I'm like, what happened last night? And by that time, the head of security was there and he ran the tapes. He was like, listen, take Logan to school and come back and call the police. Like,
wow.
So I'm still flabbergasted.
And see, here's why women need men. They need competent, logical men. Somebody that you are under the guidance and leadership of. Why? Because they would have had better sense. Why would you take your son to school and then come back and call the police? Meaning, get all in the car that's a part of a crime scene, and then you're listening to some security guard or whoever, a person who worked there, who could possibly be a part of this. It just didn't make any sense.
You're flabbergasted, and I'm pissed off with the comment section.
What you mean?
I mean, the comment section is just crazy because one part. Okay, so let's go back with what you said on your post. I don't
feel safe.
Verbatim. I don't feel safe
anywhere.
You said anywhere, and you said something about the living situation. I think that's what kind of threw people off.
Okay, so let me just go back. Okay. So I moved from LA to Atlanta. Number one, I was doing a series, but I was never going to sell my house in LA.
Right.
I ended up selling my house in LA because while I was here, my house got robbed.
Wow. So you got to get better security system.
I mean, listen, I have security.
Yes.
But things happen.
It's a target.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's why I say I don't feel safe anywhere. And the truth is, like, I have a lot of stuff in my car because, I went through heavy therapy once again since my car got robbed because it was a trigger for me. And the reason why, I kept a whole bunch of stuff in my car is because I want to keep my stuff
close to you.
Yeah, I'm trauma. It was like trauma.
Wow.
You lost some things.
Yeah, it was trauma for me.
And then we have to be honest about these hoarders. People with a lot of baggage, with a lot of junk, a lot of them have mental issues. They're going through something. It made absolutely no sense for her to be carrying around all this junk in her car with her.
You're flabbergasted, and I'm pissed off with the comment section.
What you mean?
I mean, the comment section is just crazy because one part. Okay, so let's go back with what you said on your post. I don't
feel safe.
Verbatim. I don't feel safe
anywhere.
You said anywhere, and you said something about the living situation. I think that's what kind of threw people off.
Okay, so let me just go back. Okay. So I moved from LA to Atlanta. Number one, I was doing a series, but I was never going to sell my house in LA.
Right.
I ended up selling my house in LA because while I was here, my house got robbed.
Wow. So you got to get better security system.
I mean, listen, I have security. But things happen.
It's a target.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's why I say I don't feel safe anywhere. And the truth is, I have a lot of stuff in my car because, I went through heavy therapy once again since my car got robbed because it was a trigger for me. And the reason why, I kept a whole bunch of stuff in my car is because I want to keep my stuff
close to you.
Yeah, I'm trauma. It was like trauma.
Wow.
You lost some things.
Yeah, it was trauma for me. And so, and then I was in between places. I was at JR's place and I was at my mama's house. And then, I'm at my house. And then, sometimes you get caught up in the weeks going by, putting things in your car and keeping moving. I know you got kids or whatever.
Yeah, Tamar was living like a junkie, moving her junk from place to place and talking about sometimes she was at JR's house, sometimes she was at her mama's house, sometimes she was at her own house. She's also not fully telling the truth there, and that's another problem. How long did she know this guy? She did not know him long enough to, one, be engaged already, and two, to be having this man around her son. That's the same thing I said about David at Efeso. Her and a lot of selfish single mothers just like her, they do this thing where they introduce all these men, everybody they're dealing with. Anytime they lay down with somebody, they're bringing them around their children. I don't care what anybody says. I don't agree with it. It's wrong. It's out of order. If you want to hop around from man to man every year and dragging your child along with you to these men's houses or having them come up in your house, just give the child to their father. Because obviously you're not thinking about your children. You're thinking about yourself.
Yo.
Keep it moving. Then I didn't change cars for 2 or 3 weeks. And it just was accumulation of things. Cleaned out my chest and Nation. I had a bunch of stuff in my car. You know what I mean? Just stuff.
So you and JR still together?
Well, yeah.
But
why is that a question?
Because he's not on your page. I looked on your page.
Okay, see, here we go. See?
Yeah.
And see, Tamar is clearly lying because her fiance dumped her. By the time she did this interview, she had already broken up with her fiance. In fact, she just came out and said that her car was broken into the same day that she lost her relationship. So here she is doing this interview and she's talking about her car being broken into, and she went into this interview calling these folks her friends and lied to them and their audience right there. This woman said that yes, she was in a relationship, but do you see how she went on this interview and told a flat out lie?
So you and JR still together?
Well, yeah.
Again, her fiance had already dumped her, but she's trying to save face right now in this interview, trying to make it seem like all is well and they're still together when they're not.
So you and JR still together?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But why is that a question?
Because he's not on your page.
No,
I looked on your page.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, here we go. Now, see,
Yeah.
Why he's not on your page?
Yeah, well, he's not on my page because I just felt like at that time he didn't show up like he should have. Or I expected him to.
Okay.
And so y'all.
And I got upset about that.
But see,
But I think that was one of the things in the
You
post.
said show up for what? Well, when you
Show
get
up
robbed,
for-
you show up. Like,
oh, he didn't show up when you got robbed?
okay, I said the way. Okay, come on.
He didn't show up.
Okay, but you have to understand, so I'm going to take self-accountability,
Okay.
and I'm
All
going
right.
to blame a lot on my trauma. I'm going to blame a lot on how I was feeling and holding other people accountable for things that they didn't have any responsibility of doing.
Oh, you
Okay.
started. If you would have been here, they wouldn't have robbed my car.
Well, not if you would have been here, but, like expecting people to like drop it. What are you going to do at this point?
Right.
Come with the guns. Go look at the tape.
Guns and do what? The people are gone.
They're gone.
Then you see
And
big
that
old
ain't
my
fat daddy
things are
take
gone.
off in the car. Yeah, everybody saw him leave, and Limpozoid got in his car and everybody left. Like,
Sounds like Tamar was blaming her ex when her car was broken into.
holding other people accountable for things that they didn't have any responsibility of doing.
Oh,
And honestly, she's still trying to throw subliminals. She's been on social media for the last 2 weeks, subliminally acting like he's the cause of her being a victim. And although she's saying accountability out of her mouth, she's not really taking accountability for herself.
Okay, but you have to understand, so I'm going to take self-accountability,
Okay.
and I'm
All
going
right.
to blame a lot on my trauma.
She's just repeating trauma over and over instead of blaming her own actions and using that as deflection so she could get a pass for her out of control behavior, her disrespectful mouth. And Tamar, that may work with your lost rebellious fangirls, but that is not going to work with a man. That's why he's not with you anymore. You got dumped.
It's crazy.
Like,
So I guess it's fair to say.
But JR's a great guy. Listen, JR's a great guy, and he's great to my son.
So shout out-
and he's a great father to his kids.
So don't be
And,
trying to point out
yeah.
nothing and speculate.
No, I was
And
just
even
ask-
if it was something for a second, I'm not gonna get nowhere and dog him out.
But you took him off the page to a man.
Yeah, I took him off
to
the
a
page
man.
in
That's,
that moment.
That's not cool.
That's
But I'm on
stripping
his
your
page.
marriage. That's stripping a man of his
Don't
marriage.
take
huh?
me off your page. Don't change my name in your phone to something crazy when
Yeah,
you get
I'm
mad
changing
at me.
it. I'm all the way changing your name when I'm mad.
Whoa.
Everybody do that.
And so what does it?
That's what females do.
It's safe to say that.
Here we go with this baby bot bimbo babble. No, that's what toxic little girls do. And her brainless fans saw this. They were all in the comments talking about growth. 1, this is not growth. And 2, this is not a changed woman. This is more of the same. Like I've said over and over, you cannot mold stale bread. And at this point, Tamar is closer to 50. There's nothing about her that you're going to change. That's why every man who chooses to get involved with her, they end up with the same results because they're getting that same person. There is zero growth here. At this point, this woman is closer to 50 than 40, and I still see a 12-year-old middle schooler. That's why I can't agree when people talk about age and being more wise based on your age. You have a lot of immature old people, and they're in a state of arrested development. They're still acting like they're 15, 25, or acting their shoe size. Overall here, Tamar lied in this interview. In her own words, she said they broke up the same day her car was broken into. According to him, they broke up before that. But here she is after that situation, telling these folks a flat-out lie in her interview.
So you and JR still together?
Well, yeah.
This is why you cannot believe these people. Even the ones who love to run around like her talking about how real they are. Yeah, they're real fake. And a lesson for the young ladies who don't know, you do not leave a bunch of stuff in your car. When you leave stuff in your car, valuables or whatever, you are making yourself a target for these heathens, these thieves. But yeah, let me know what you think about this below. Special thank you to Charles G. I appreciate you, Charles, for all of your support. as well as the ladies Jenny, Mrs. Israel, Tiffany, and Tanette. Also, shout out to Brady, Roosevelt, and Dustin. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.